Hi everybody, Jay the Fish Guy here, coming at you today with another tech tip. So today we're going to talk about the proper way to clean your filter socks. It's a pretty straightforward idea. There's still a lot of people out there that aren't quite familiar with the concept, so I wanted to just go through it real quick just so everybody has a clear understanding of what to do with your filter socks when they're ready to be cleaned. So initially you're going to take them out of your system. They're going to be filled with all sorts of nasty stuff that they've been collecting for a little while, and your best bet is to take them straight to the sink, turn them inside out, and rinse thoroughly as much as you can off of the sock. There's going to be some heavier debris, chunks of algae, things like that. So the more we get off of it initially, the better. After that, head to your washing machine. If you don't have a washing machine, you could do this process in a 5-gallon bucket. And I'll touch base on that in a second. So in the washing machine is the best way to go about doing it because it beats it around and really gets a lot of the just detritus and stuff that gets trapped in the filter sock itself out. So it's the most efficient way to do it and a lot less work for you physically. So roughly a capful or two of bleach. Your mileage may vary depending on if you have a high efficiency front loader, an older top loader, just depending on how much water actually gets put into the cycle. The more socks you have in there, you can run a little bit more bleach. You just don't want to use too much because you actually can start breaking down the material. So a capful or two at most is good. Also, I want to mention real quick, the bleach that you use. Don't use anything that's scented or like this is a linen scent. I think they have like flowery scents, things like that. Don't use any bleach that's scented. You know, the same idea applies. Obviously, you don't want to use soaps because soaps are bad for your fish tank. Well, anything with scents or other chemicals you want to avoid at all costs. So just plain old regular bleach, nothing fancy. Run it through a standard wash cycle. If you want to add an extra rinse on it, if your system has that option, that's a great way to just help rinse out the rest of the bleach from it. After that, you can air dry them. They don't have to be dried in your dryer. If it still smells a little bit like bleach, you can soak them in a 5-gallon bucket of fresh water with some dechlorinator in there. And you can, you know, put 2 to 3 times the amount of what you would use normally for a 5-gallon bucket. And it helps just make sure that you got all the chlorine out of there and it's safe to use. If you don't have a washing machine and you still want to try to reuse your socks, again, rinse them, clean as much as you can off of it while they're inside out in your sink. Get a 5-gallon bucket, do the same thing, roughly about a capful for a 5-gallon bucket, and soak the socks in it overnight. The idea behind that is the bleach actually breaks down the organics and tries to pull some of it out of the filter material. And then after that, you can take them out and rinse them. A lot of times I'll beat them on the side of the sink and it helps knock some of the dirt out as well. It's a little more labor intensive, but it still works, and it's better than buying a new filter sock every time that you clog one, especially if you have a system that has a lot of detritus and you're clogging a sock within a week or two. So great way to save a few bucks and wash them yourself. Another thing I'll mention real quick is that after you have washed them, whether you're hand washing or washing in the washing machine, be mindful that your skimmer may react negatively to when you put the new sock in. This also applies when it's a brand new sock as well. If you don't rinse a brand new sock, same thing applies, is that your skimmer will generally go bonkers and puke its guts out when you put the sock back in. When they're brand new, I'm sure it has to do with the manufacturing processes and any residues that are left behind on the sock. Even when you hand rinse them ahead of time, the skimmers still react to it. The same applies for when you wash, even again by hand. The skimmer may react negatively, and if you haven't emptied your skimmer cup and you got like half a cup full of just nasty sludge, that's going to all get dumped back into your main tank. So we definitely don't want to do that. So I really advise anytime you're going to change a filter sock, clean your skimmer cup first, and always remember, because nothing's going to be just a good way to ruin your day than to quickly change out a sock, close the cabinet, walk away, come back 20 minutes later and go, oh, what's that smell? Why does the tank look a little bit off? And oh, yeah, you forgot, and it's all that stuff is in your tank. So definitely don't forget that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please click the subscribe button above. And as always, comments, questions, and things like that, just leave them down in the comment section below. Thanks a lot, guys.